Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel's Strike Force, and in today's video we are going to be talking all about Hitmonkey because he is going to be releasing and coming to the game later on today. It is 2 p.m. Pacific, of course. For me, it's going to be like 11 o'clock at night, but hey, uh, doesn't matter. Anyways, you guys know when the reset time is. We're going to be talking all about him. We're going to be talking about his kit. We're going to be talking about how good he is, how much stats he has, and so by the end of this video, we can figure out whether or not that you should core for Hitmonkey and all of the reasons behind that. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Okay, so I want to start things off in the stats window. I think that that's where we're going to see his stats and how he stacks up with the other characters. What I think is kind of funny, actually, now that I'm here, is Mephisto still has more health than Professor Xavier. Even though Mephisto is an old era stat character, which I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, like if you look at the rest of the stats, it's great. Like Xavier has like twice his damage, more than twice his damage. It's insane. And I guess Xavier is not really intended to be, I don't know, a high hit point character. Mephisto is also a protector. But anyways, that's just an aside. So this is organized by health. So let's take a look at Hitmonkey. He is a kind of a damage based character. So I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, that he actually still ranks number 16. Now you can see that he kind of has the same health stat here as as Patriot, as Peggy Carter, Punisher, Silver Sable. They all have the same hit point stat, which is pretty interesting. I kind of talked about this in a previous video, and I kind of wondered if they kind of had a certain stat in mind, and they kind of leveled these characters to the same range. They're pretty recent, right? So this is all the same patch with Punisher and Silver Sable. Peggy Carter and Patriot, the Liberty team, were last patch. The patch before this, rather. So this isn't entirely... Actually, I guess it was 2 now. Sorry, Starjammers was before this. Where are they? Starjammers is a little bit below this. Anyways, I'm always curious when it comes to like where the stats line up. So 16-ish for Hitmonkey for health. As far as damage goes, number 11, but he is tied with Elektra. Now, Elektra is basically a single target damage character, so it's not really, she's a rework character. Her kit's not insanely good. It's slightly lower than Silver Sable's, though, for better or for worse. His armor stat is in the 16 as well, the same stats as Silver Sable. So again, a lot of shared stats here with the team here, and very similar to Howard the Duck, who's just only slightly lower with Kahori as well. So some pretty good stat characters there. Being in the top 20 essentially for most stats, that's really solid, really. Focus, 16 as well. That's pretty surprising too. Actually, have there. Does he have focus in his passive? I can't quite remember. And then resistance, we have not so good, where he's much further down. Number 37 in resist here. Again, tied with the other vigilante characters. You have Elektra. Actually, they're all the same. Elektra, Hitmonkey, Silver Sable, Punisher, all in the same lineup here as far as their resistances go. Now, his speed, I gotta zoom out a little bit for this one. Now, he's a monkey, right? He should be fast. He's 31 at 127. Now, he's tied with Professor Xavier, Mephisto, Null, Emma Frost X-Men, Lady Deathstrike Blade, and a lot of other characters who seem to be tied in this whole 127 speed range. So kind of interesting there. Let's take a look at his kit. Of course, he is a Hero City skill. Blaster, Vigilante, nothing, nothing really extra as far as his kit goes. Skill, I was always surprised that he wasn't a dual tag like Bio skill. Right, I'm always surprised when Scopely, tags their characters, but here we are. He's a monkey, also an assassin. It's pretty much there in the name. Okay, so his basic attack, macaque attack. I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. Primary target for 300%, bleed for 2 turns, and then I do like this. The prolong the duration of all negative effects by 1, up to a max of 3. I think this could. I know you're supposed to use Raider, I think, for this team, but I think this could be a very decent striker attack, especially if I think that he's kind of later in the turn order as well. So there should be vulnerabilities from Silver Sable, I think, who's faster, right? His special, monkeying around, primary target for 250% damage, plus apply 1 vulnerable up to a max of 5. plus prolong the duration of all negative effects by 1 up to max. So I really do like this part of his kit. He does seem like he's going to be a pretty solid damage character. Of course, that probably won't be until he's farmable and, you know, above 5-star like most of the new characters these days. But chain to 4 targets within 2 spaces. I like those kind of mechanics, the jumping around. That's nice for 250 plus, again, this exact same stuff, except for, no, it is the same. It's pretty much the same as this. The attack gains 25% crit damage against targets that have vulnerable. So again, exploiting that. And counterattack does not break the chain, so it's guaranteed to jump around, so which is nice. Assassinate. Attack primary target for 300% piercing. Apply stun for 1 turn and trauma for 2 turns. That's really nice in case you do get the prolonging, right? You could get the prolonging of stun. Bonus attack the enemy with the highest damage, ignoring taunt and stealth for 300% piercing in raids. It also does the stun and trauma as well. And then applying, this is actually really important, the applying the speed up and offense up to the team. I kind of wish this was kind of first, because I do prefer it when the buffs and stuff come before, especially offense up, right? Getting offense up before you actually do the damage, but there we are. And he is getting 1,000% extra focus for this attack, so it's pretty much guaranteed. I do like the speed up for the team, so this is going to be a really important character. And of course, his passive on turn or any enemy with vulnerable turn. Bit of a mouthful there. If this character's health is full, attack the enemy with the highest health, ignoring taunt or stealth. Now, this is really interesting because it is kind of, it's not a retaliate attack, but the fact that he has to have full hit points is kind of, you know, it's not that great, but of course he is going to heal himself if he's not. So there's a lot of opportunities for this to happen, and he should be able to get back up to full pretty quickly and then start hitting with this again. And also applies vulnerable, which is really nice. On enemy death, of course, in raids is going to be very important. Outside of raids, he's generating energy for himself. In raids, it's for the team. So going to be very important for using him, of course, in raids. And actually in Pocket Dimension, or Fallen Dimension rather, which we know is starting later on today as well, and possibly for some of us who might be able to do Fallen Dimension Omega. We'll talk about this in a little bit again as well. Well, any enemy has vulnerable, gain plus 25%. This is pretty much guaranteed with the team. For each enemy that has vulnerable, gain plus 5% crit chance. So this is nice too. So this is kind of where I kind of thinking about giving him Raider, but because you're already getting enhanced crit chance and crit damage, so I kind of want to exploit that further by stacking more Raider crit chance and crit damage, which could hit really hard. But a lot of his attacks, though, are single target. And so for that reason is why I want to have Striker. I think that that would be viable as well. I'd have to play around with it, honestly, to see which one I prefer. I haven't playtested this team, so don't take what I say with a grain of salt. Raider or Striker is the things that I have in mind personally, and if this character has 4 or more Vigilante allies, non-mythic enemies cannot have their speed increased except by positive effects. So this is the Emma Frost X-Men passive, I'm pretty sure there, but unfortunately, unlike her, you do have to have the entire team assembled for Vigilantes. On offense, lower the revive chance of all enemies by 100%. This is interesting. Keep in mind, revive chances, things like Panda Pool, Groot, these characters, Omega Sentinel, these characters who have a revive chance. It is not to do with revive once or anything like that. So keep in mind they are different mechanics there. Now, as far as Hitmonkey himself and his gear goes, all the new characters require 3 sets of gear, or 3 gear pieces rather, but his unique is Crimson Gravitonium. Now, I can't remember the last time I used this on a character. I think it was like Guardian at gear 19. So I have quite a bit. I have 94 of this, so this should be no problem for me to take Hitmonkey up to gear tier 20 when that time comes. So that shouldn't be a big problem there. And we need to talk about why you would want a core for Hitmonkey. So we know that Pocket Dimension and Pocket Dimension Omega is coming. Or sorry, Fallen Dimension, whatever. You guys know what I mean. Fallen Dimension, Omega. For Fallen Dimension, it's not I don't think you'll need Hitmonkey to get through this. It's very easy, right? It's the nodes are very easy. The final node is like gear tier 18 kind of things. You can use other characters. It's not going to be that difficult. Now, where you will need him and also want to have him is Fallen Dimension Omega, because it is required that you do have all 5 characters to even engage in this content. Is it going to be really hard? It's probably going to be really effing hard, right? But you can't do it without the 5 characters, and obviously you're going to need to have cored or purchased, I suppose, Silver Sable. So in my case, I do have Silver Sable, so this is something that I'm considering, and it's going to create the full team together for me. I'm going to have them all together to be able to start doing the raid nodes on the proper D5 difficulty. So I do want to talk about that as well. Can I find maybe a raid lane where it's open? I don't know. Let's find a skill section. I think skill is up here, right over on this side. As far as difficult, I'm still running the normal raids, by the way. So this is difficulty 5 skill. So obviously this matters, right? Because currently a lot of us are doing single lanes to clearing it out on the normal chaotic storm, doing difficulty 2 or 3, and then getting through it and trying to just save the collective alliance's energy on each side by doing it this way. But with the full team, you know, we can go back to doing D5, whether it's in regular chaotic storm or even going back potentially to chaotic storm Omega. You know, if enough of my alliance members have the Vigilantes team, it will kind of allow us to kind of push through this a little bit easier. So that's kind of the reasoning and thoughts as to why you would want to core for Hitmonkey. But again, you're not going to be able to use them in the raids well unless you have especially at D4 or 5, right? You're not going to be able to do that unless you have the full team assembled, which means that you would have had to have obtained Silver Sable at this point already. And so that is kind of where I'm concluding, I guess. So should you core for Hitmonkey? I would say yes, but only if you have Silver Sable, because otherwise you're going to have 4 characters out of 5 still, and we don't know exactly when Silver Sable is going to be available free to play yet. We don't know what event that she's going to be coming from. So unfortunately, I would say that Hitmonkey is someone that you should core if you have the rest of the team and you're ready to go, and then you're going to slide him in as your 5th member. You can also get started on Fallen Dimension Omega if you're at the point where you can do that. So there's kind of 2 things here. The raids, obviously, to start doing that ASAP, and then Fallen Dimension Omega, which is going to be coming out on Tuesday. So those are my thoughts there. I will be coring Hitmonkey personally because, again, I have all the other characters, and hopefully I get some decent luck on my orbs. We'll see what happens. So that's going to be it for now, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. What are you going to do for Hitmonkey? Are you going to core for him, or are you going to wait? That's it for now, everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.